Like, nobody can talk now. We're within 2 minutes. A 2-minute warning.
The other one. Yes. And they were like, what, $10 for 2 or something? They were quadruple A's.
Real
Where do these
small.
things exist?
Amazon.
No, where'd you find it?
Where you find everything.
They have these things called stores. You walk in them and they have all kinds of stuff inside them.
Except for what you want. Then you go to Amazon.
Kind of. It requires no internet. And they take cash. That's this green stuff that most people have in their pocket.
Hi, guys, to my left.
Hey. How you doing? Good.
Yes.
All right, it's 7 p.m. We'll call this meeting to order. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, can we have a roll call, please?
Here.
Here.
Trustee Domke, Trustee Lanisa,
Here.
Trustee Perkowski, Trustee Trejo.
And we have a quorum. We'll move to presentation of the prepared agenda. Can I have a motion to approve?
Moved.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Seeing none, that motion carries. We'll now move to Village Board public comment. Anyone wishing to provide a comment on a topic or an agenda item may address the Village Board during this time or public hearing segments of the Village Board agenda by submitting comments in advance or during the meeting. Madam Clerk, do we have any submitted in advance? Is it just Ty's comment? We'll let Mr. Cobb then speak. Thank you. You wouldn't mind speaking or stating your name for the audience.
I'm Ty Cobb, and I'm the commander of the American Legion here in Roselle. And I'm here to ask if you guys could consider looking at the ordinance that you have for your raffles. Currently, the Queen of Hearts raffle at the Legion almost always ends after 180 days with a small jackpot. Never has a chance to grow. Part of that is the fact that we are a small club and we are a closed club for members only. So consequently, those types of things don't grow until the pot gets big, and the pot never gets big because we have to end it after 180 days. I know you currently have a $250,000 limit for a jackpot, and we're fine with that. You can even lower it if you want. We're not looking for a huge jackpot. We're just looking for the opportunity to maybe get a little more interest in our game.
Great, thank you. I'll solicit the board's opinion under other business about adding this to a future agenda then.
If you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other member of the public here tonight that wishes to make a comment? Terry, come on up.
Good evening. My name is Terry Erickson. The title of this comment should be why we should not trust the Village of Roselle administration. And as a note, none of this has to do with the prior litigation, so we're all safe. In June 2021 meeting with several village administrators, we discussed topics which were very important to me and should be important to other people, including pedestrian safety and other issues. In the year plus that's followed, absolutely no follow-up or any discussion or any promises made have been fulfilled by village administrators. My comments about public safety seem to be steered towards, well, we need to do public information first, and I have not seen a bit of that since. Nor have I been contacted, as I made many offers to help with that. Also discussed was updated fees for such things like blocking sidewalks and crosswalks. Haven't seen any of that occur or nor discussion on that. I've also discussed about the crosswalks where the push buttons do not work, which I admit are on state and federal and county highways. but I have requested several times that not just me make a voice at the city of Roselle, since these problems are largely within the village of Roselle. And not only have I not gotten any participation in that, but I was told to do petitions. I created petitions, and then I was told I was not able to promote them. Among other things was discussed is Maple Avenue, the whole stretch between Roselle Road and Irving Park Road. Vehicle speed, and they totally disregard crosswalks and the signage thereof. Recently, I've seen several of the speeding reporters, the monitoring devices along Circle Avenue, which I'm assuming Bloomingdale does. And as I sat there and watched one for over half an hour, 90% of the vehicles triggered the fact that they were speeding. 90%. Secondly, nobody takes any evidence seriously, which I report. I have shown videos to administrators and to the people at the Roselle Police Department. Yet nobody has ever filed a report. I've been told on 2 occasions by Bob in the lobby that the traffic officer will contact me, which has never occurred. So not only is it unsafe, I can't even report it to anybody who will take it seriously. That's sad to me. Also, I have repeatedly pleaded with the administration so that they might know and be aware of the issues, including the things that I have tried to demonstrate to them. I have also offered a walking tour with the village administrator to point out these problems. No feedback at all. Now, one thing that the village did is a few months ago, they proposed a proposal to Cook County for the sidewalk improvement along Roselle Road. And the proposal which I read that has apparently already been submitted or was going to be submitted without public comment is definitely not going to provide a useful solution for the pedestrians, as it only includes an island, but no way to stop traffic on this 4-lane busy roadway. Side note to that, on my way here tonight, I counted. I crossed 8 intersections while walking. 6 of those I had to wait for motor vehicles to leave the crosswalks where they should not have been before I was allowed to cross. And in addition to that, 4 times on the sidewalk, I had to wait for cars pulling from driveways. To me, those numbers should be nowhere close to that high. In fact, I think they should be 0. So the village has proven to me over and over and over that they really don't care about pedestrian safety, such as mine and all the other residents, nor do they care about enforcement, and nor do they care about reaching out to other governments to help improve their aspects of things within the village. I hate to say that because about a year ago, I was very much in favor of this administration. But time has proven to me in a very sad manner that this is apparently not going to happen. Yet since that time, even though some of the issues which I had stated, the village administration told me it wasn't in their jurisdiction. However, everybody jumped on the bandwagon for the train merger, to fight the train merger. For the citizens of Roselle, realize that the train is its independent thing. It's not technically in Roselle Village Administration's jurisdiction, just like Irving Park Road, Lake Street, Roselle Road. they'll jump on that, but not do a thing to help the pedestrians. So what did we learn in all of this? We learned that ignoring problems will not resolve them. We learned that condoning the problems does not resolve them. So maybe we should try to actually resolve the problems. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Erickson. I just want to note for the record, we have been working tirelessly with DuPage County, Cook County, and the state of Illinois on a lot of different roadways. Obviously, we struggle to get projects done on our pace, those agencies being larger and having other resource constraints beyond ours are even slower to work with. So appreciate Public Works continuing to reach out and to coordinate efforts with those departments. Is there any other public comment tonight? Seeing none, we'll move to officials and staff's reports. Under Mayor, I just wanted to get the kind of opinion of the board. We did have a business reach out looking to have a Class T liquor license to add gaming to their facility. So Bellagio has provided some initial drafts. It still need to be going through that workflow with staff. But before we go and take that any further, wanted to make sure that there was the board's kind of desire to move forward and approve such an increase in the liquor license for video gaming if we wanted to. So if I could just get a show of hands from the board, are those in favor? Okay, so staff can continue to work with them as far as on some of their requirements on that. And then once they meet those, we'll bring that on a future board agenda to vote on, and I'll let the owners know as well. So thank you. Other than that, I don't have any other report tonight. Does any village trustee have any reports? Trustee Pierkowski.
Yes, I just want to let everyone know that this weekend is a used book sale for the library. It benefits the Friends of the Library, which in turn will help benefit the library. I just need to pull up the hours so I don't get them wrong like I did last time. Saturday is 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sunday is 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So if you have some free time and would like to pick up some very reasonably priced literature, stop on by.
Thank you so much. Any other trustee reports tonight? Seeing none, village clerk.
This Sunday, August 28th, is the Rotary's Drinks for Everyone fundraiser, and that's from 2 to 5. You can buy tickets online or from me.
Great, thank you so much. Village attorney.
I have nothing.
Village administrator.
No report.
All right, we'll move to unfinished business. First, we have the consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine, procedural, informational, self-explanatory, or non-controversial in nature and will be enacted in one motion. There'll be no discussion of these items. Tonight, we have the presentation approval of the village board meeting minutes of August 8th, 2022, adopting a resolution approving and establishing a policy for fee waivers, pass an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2022 budget for the general fund, general capital projects fund, water sewer operating fund, parking lot operating fund, information technology fund, police pension fund, and firefighters pension fund. Adopt a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a change order for the Public Works roof replacement project, excuse me, and then adopt a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a contract for the purchase and installation of a biorem humidification chamber access hatch at the Devlin wastewater treatment plant and fluent pump station. The amount of $24,375. That's all tonight. Is there a motion to approve?
So move it.
There's a second.
Second.
Madam Clerk, we have a roll call when you're ready.
Trustee Trejo.
Aye.
Trustee Domke.
Aye.
Trustee Berkshire.
Yes.
Trustee Della Penna.
Aye.
Trustee Lanisa.
Aye.
Trustee Pierkowski.
Aye.
That motion carries. We'll now move on to our other unfinished items. We have nothing on our community development, administration, or fire tonight. Police, Trustee Trejo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to pass an ordinance amending Chapter 13, Article 3, Section 13-48 of the Code of Ordinances of the Village of Roselle, Illinois.
There's a second.
Second.
Any discussion? I'll just add, I think this is a great collaboration between the village and Lake Park and other agencies, so that way we can actually help enforce some of those issues that come up with the new changes in state legislatures as it regards to cannabis. So that way we can kind of help with underage use or any other issues that may come up from a municipal standpoint. So, Madam Clerk, could we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Trejo.
Aye.
Trustee Lanisa.
Aye.
Trustee Berkshire.
Yes.
Trustee Della Penna.
Aye.
Trustee Domke.
Aye.
Trustee Pierkowski.
That motion carries.
That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. We'll move to Public Works. Trustee Berkshire.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to adopt a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a change order by and between the Village of Roselle and Garland DBS Inc.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, could I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Berkshire.
Yes.
Trustee Trejo.
Aye.
Trustee Della Penna.
Aye.
Trustee Domke.
Aye.
Trustee Lanisa.
Aye.
Trustee Prokowski.
Aye. That motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, then I'd like to make a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a contract by and between the Village of Roselle and Garland DBS Inc. in the amount of $26,955 through the Masters Intergovernmental Cooperative Purchasing Agreement for window and masonry repairs at the fire and police departments.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, could we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Berkshire.
Yes.
Trustee Trejo.
Aye.
Trustee Della Penna.
Aye.
Trustee Domke.
Aye.
Trustee Lanisa.
Aye.
Trustee Prokowski.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, that is it for Public Works.
Thank you very much. Finance, Trustee Prokowski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to move approval of the accounts payable list for August 22nd, 2022 in the amount of $2,287,651.56.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, could I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Prokowski.
Aye.
Trustee Trejo.
Aye.
Trustee Berkshire.
Yes.
Trustee Della Penna.
Aye.
Trustee Domke.
Aye.
Trustee Lanisa.
Aye.
That motion carries. That's it for finance tonight. We'll move on to new business. We'd have a second opportunity for public comment. Does anyone wish to make a public comment at this time? Seeing none, we'll move on to our one and only item, the Mangy Dog Loan Agreement. So I'll have the village administrator come up to the podium to present.
Thank you, Mayor. So tonight I'm looking for hopefully final direction from the village board on terms of an economic development loan agreement with Mangy Dog. This started, I think, last winter or last year, and some back and forth between the village and the operator and owner of Mangy Dog. There's been some delays in his kind of construction process. He's received some revised numbers for what original direction from the board was on $100,000 repayable loan. They then requested $200,000 based on construction costs doubling since our original conversation with them. That price kind of doubled this spring. So before the board, really, right now, the loan agreement's about 63 pages, and we're just honing in on kind of the elements of the loan. One, the dollar amount, confirming what that dollar amount is. And then really that request from Mangy Dog on having video gaming and not, immediately versus the current 1 year kind of requirement that a business be open and operating for at least a year before being eligible to apply for the Class T video gaming liquor license. So in order to achieve that, there'd have to be some amendments to code. So that's kind of element number 2. It's the confirm the loan amount, confirm the video gaming if you want to offer that. And then as we've spoken with the owner about the willingness of the owner to share the video gaming revenue with the village to fulfill the loan, and how much of that video gaming revenue does the board want to require in that loan agreement. So once these terms are finalized, the latest draft of the loan agreement that the owner has reviewed has $100,000, has video gaming basically from day one, with 100% of the revenue from that gaming for the first 12 months going to the village to satisfy that loan. And then starting the 13th month, it going to 50%. I had Tom kind of forecast out a hypothetical, I guess, of a potential repayment based on the video gaming that the other establishment this owner has in Hanover Park, and kind of compared to some other restaurants in town would show that within 12 months, it's likely the owner could repay the $100,000 loan to the village. So
100% coming to us.
at 100%, correct. And it's assuming the first couple months, they're not
Sure.
receiving 100% that they are in Hanover Park, assuming it may take some time to get to that level.
And if it didn't happen in the 12 months, then you'd go at 50% for month after month until it's paid off, right?
Correct. That's the current version of the agreement that the owner has and has said they're fine with. And just waiting really for the board to finalize everything before we bring this back for final action by the board and execution by the owner.
So first, I just want to take a pulse. Everyone in alignment as far as the $100,000 loan amount?
Yes.
Okay, so loan amount settled as far as the terms then. So are we still feel comfortable utilizing the video gaming license to be our repayment mechanism on this?
Yes.
Okay, and then as far as the repayment terms, are we feeling we want to go with the 100% for the first year, then step it down to 50 if needed for after that, or do we want to do it at a different arrangement?
100,000
I
or
would-
200,000?
I thought personally, what I would do is I think I was all for the 100% when I knew what the total amount of his cost was 100,000. Now that he's got to figure out a way to come up with the other 100,000, I'd be okay with going to 50%,
Okay,
elongating our payment term.
trustee Berkshire?
I was in the same as Tom was. Actually, I figured we'd try a 75-25. And then this way he's making 25 from that, plus he's got his other building, because then he can at least say that he's making a little something towards the other payment. And then go to a 50-50. So. And that way we're still safe. If we go 75, it elongates it, but it doesn't elongate it much longer than what I want to try and stay is within 24 months, because usually that's that first window of when restaurants start to go questioning, am I really in the right place at the right time?
That's like 100%. Let's take it 100. Okay, so we've got 50, 75, 100.
Like
You
100,
don't go to 25 on me.
like 100.
You like 100? Okay. Cheryl, 100. Tom P. Okay, so then we'll stick with 100. That's the consensus. We got 4 in favor of 100. So, and then so we can keep it as the terms that we floated. I mean, if the business owner is okay with it, I mean, I don't disagree with you, Tom or Bruce, but I think
I see 100% from really the first month that they have gaming operational for 12 consecutive months. And then month 13 is when 50% kicks in. That's how it's currently written. Okay.
Not that it's our business, but do you know if he has a way to come up with the other 100 grand?
I don't know the answer to that question.
I'll be honest, I was surprised that he agreed with it anyway. So I'm good with it. As long as we're only giving him 100?
Right.
All for it.
Okay, so then now I think it's how do you achieve them getting video gaming day one? So it's not as simple as a waiving of our existing ordinance regarding the Class T. So I kind of have some thoughts and recommendation, at least, knowing the history of the gaming, the license. Some trustees have been here from day one. I kind of was trying to be mindful, I think, of kind of the original intent. And we've had some amendments to the ordinance over the years, I think, to get at these fast food establishments, to get at gaming only facilities. So as I proposed it, it was really eliminating the 1-year waiting period for restaurants as we define them in code, and all the other eligible classifications still have to wait a year. That addresses Mangy Dog immediately.
trustee Tomke.
Just wanted to define why that it was a 1 year. Because it happened long ago when the ordinance, when gaming became prevalent and illegal in Illinois, and then we had it in Roselle, is that we didn't want just somebody to come up and, within a month or two, they want to get the gaming license. So we wanted to make sure they were a viable business, so we made it a 1 year. These guys at Mangy Dog have owned Mangy Dog for over a year. So they're embedded in our community. So I see that as being different than the intent of the 1 year. They're up, in my opinion, they're already here. They're already part of our community for over a year. So I wouldn't have a problem with amending the ordinance for a business like this.
Well, and I think the other thing to point out is like gaming cafes we see today is not a restaurant under our current definitions. And so that main issue, if that ever were to come up again, would still not qualify for this kind of immediate access. So I think that's the key thing in my mind.
That's where we be clear, because a business like this is too vague in my opinion. And them being here a year, they haven't.
They've not been operational.
Operational.
That's
What
right.
we want to state is a restaurant so that we avoid those parlors just popping up and throwing up and saying, okay, I'm gonna get some sandwiches someplace and say, now I'm a restaurant.
That's what that was. That was a parlor that was coming on that wanted it right away.
And
I'm
we've had
sure
other,
I'm fine with what you have as a restaurant.
okay. So it's really that class, sorry, which I think I gave you all the equivalent
Yes.
restaurants in town. So you can kind of tell size wise what we're dealing with kind of.
That class F.
Yeah.
Is the board in agreement with that approach for resolving that issue? All right. Does staff need any other direction on this matter?
Think we got what we need to get, then I'm hoping the next board meeting, which will be Tuesday, the 13th, to have this agreement, as it's my understanding, permits have been issued for the work for the, that this loan is subject to, that we be paying the vendors directly. So I'd like to get this approved by the board on the 13th, as I would expect some invoices may be submitted for reimbursement.
Absolutely.
Question with that, are we gonna get, as they get invoices, a substantial complete and inspection type of thing? I mean, typically when loans are like that, they issue construction loans, it's based on an inspection and so forth. So
We're gonna have
doing that.
some means to substantiate work done, and so we'll work through a staff kind of what that looks like. It may be at the very end, but I do know he's intending on having work starting, so I'd like to align this at least with this work starting up, but we'll be paying for work completed and inspected and passed and approved is kind of my intent. I just have to have a better understanding of how his deals are structured with his contractors.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Delapena?
Since we're paying the vendors directly, are we also seeing a copy of those contracts?
I do have,
We know the amounts are the same.
I do have proposals, contracts, but I do have the proposal amounts that were provided to me that substantiate right now $210,000.
Okay.
An estimated work.
Well, thank you, staff, on that work. I know this has been a saga, and I know we've been continuing to be in communication with the business owner and the contractors on this. And so, you know, as their plans change, there's unforeseen consequences to those changes in plans, but I think we've been transparent and professional. And, you know, we've even extended an olive branch in terms of helping, going above and beyond to help this business kind of come to realization. So appreciate all the work that goes into it. Thank you. Move to other business. So I'll just, before I solicit and open it up, based on that public comment, I did ask staff just to provide some information. So the specific code that Ty referred to was originally passed, it seems, in 1989, that limits a raffle to be 180 days. There is state law that we would need to look into, but it seems like it would allow it to go for a year if we didn't have anything on the books. So there is a dollar limit that's out there. If he's not interested in changing that, I don't think we should look into it, but is the board open? I don't think this is a priority. So I would say staff, as time permits, can look into it, but is the board comfortable maybe looking at just either repealing or just evaluating changing the limit on the days?
I would just allow it.
Times change.
Yeah, I mean, I would just, if we need to look into state law, but my personal state would just say, I don't know why this would be a Roselle issue, just repeal that portion of it and then we can just move on. So, okay. So staff, as time permits, not an urgent matter, but let's look into it. And if there's nothing bizarre with state law, then let's remain mum on the limits of raffle duration. Any other business from the board?
Not any
Mr.
other.
Chair?
Can we just kind of say by the end of the year?
Sure, by the end of the year.
So that-
I'm sure we'll get it before the end of the year, but
Time
yeah,
permit comes-
that way Ty and
Yeah,
the
it's
Legion
got,
has
it's
some
got
idea.
somewhat of a date and he can align with that.
That's fair. I think that's very doable in this situation, so. Does anyone else have other business they'd like to bring forward to the board at this time? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Yes.
Opposed, nay. Any abstentions? We're adjourned at 7:28.